Good morning and welcome. I'm Shannon Beiser from EPA Region 7. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are very excited about today's event here in Waterloo, Iowa, and what a turnout. Thank you all. Before we begin, I would like to remind everyone that you can see photos from this event on our EPA Region 7 Facebook page. Also, after today's event, we invite members of the media to join us up front for one-on-one interviews and photo or video opportunities. Without further delay, let's begin today's event. I would like to introduce our first speaker, Quentin Hart, Mayor of Waterloo, Iowa.
All right, thank you, and good morning, everyone. I am so excited this morning, but first, I want to make sure to acknowledge Meg McAllister, our EPA Regional Administrator, and all of the EPA team. Could you please stand up so we can all see you and acknowledge you? Please stand up if you're a part of the EPA team. Could we give them a round of applause? Thank you. And their support and work has been invaluable to the city of Waterloo and across the country over the years. And what a great tribute this morning to see a nice, big, shiny $642,000 check that's being reinvested right back into our community. But I'll tell you, yes, the check is incredible. The relationship is incredible. But what today is really about is making sure that no parts of our communities are left behind. Making sure that a place like Waterloo, Iowa, which one day was labeled as Factory City, Iowa, that has been instrumental across the country for providing product and providing service to our greater country. But it's important to make sure that we never forget those cities and the impact that we have done or may have done to the overall environment of our local communities. And so our community has been striving hard, working hard, partnering with the EPA for a number of years to be able to address some of these challenges that we have today. And so that's why today is important. It's about building up the community. It's about transforming these former sites that have been left into something that provides opportunity, that provides job, and provides a reinvigoration of the entire community. And Mr. Tom Poe and Crystal Distribution, we have to give him a round of applause for not going out and moving somewhere else, but going right back into this community to make sure he makes a difference to transform this area. So can we give Crystal Ice and Tom Poe a round of applause? Well, last but not least, hope you get an opportunity to conversate with our EPA officials. They have incredible energy. They have been here on the front lines with us for community change. I want to acknowledge Councilman Jonathan Greider and also Councilwoman Belinda Creighton-Smith, who's here with us as well, and all the elected officials that I may have forgot. But thank you so much for the historic day. And on behalf of the citizens of Waterloo, Iowa, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Hart. Now I would like to introduce our second speaker for this morning, Meg McAllister, Regional Administrator for the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, Region 7.
Good morning, everyone. It's really wonderful to be here today. I was just telling the mayor earlier that one thing that I'm really impressed with Waterloo is your ability to tell your story. And he has just proven that one more time. It's so great to be here and to have all of you joining us for today's announcement and, of course, the presentation of this beautiful check. Investing in communities to make them healthier, cleaner, and more economically competitive is a top priority at the EPA, and it's really what our Brownfields program is all about. We're standing just steps away from the former Rath Buildings property, which is a brownfield site. As we know, this area housed a meatpacking plant from 1908 to 1985, and some of the remaining buildings are used for cold warehousing. It's contaminated with toxic metals, PCBs, and other contaminants. and it's been sitting vacant in this community for nearly 40 years. I'm happy to announce that Waterloo has been selected to receive a Brownfields cleanup grant for $642,400 to clean up this property for future redevelopment. This grant, This grant was made possible by President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law, which is a once-in-a-generation financial investment in our nation that will have significant positive impacts on the health and environment in communities across the country. Through this funding, $1.5 billion will be set aside for brownfields throughout the United States. And this is the single largest investment in brownfields infrastructure ever. And the EPA has more than tripled total funding for brownfields for fiscal year 2023, which will allow more communities like Waterloo to have access to this funding. This site is full of potential. It's 4.4 acres in a prime location for sustainable industrial development. It has access to the main road. There's plenty of internet and electrical connectivity in this area. And this grant announcement really shows that environmental protection and economic development are not mutually exclusive. The two really do go hand in hand. Communities all over the United States have received more than $34 billion in cleanup and redevelopment grants, which have led to the creation of more than 175,000 jobs. Redeveloped brownfield sites even have positive impacts on nearby residential properties, which can see a 15% increase in value after redevelopment. Now, our administrator, Michael Regan, likes to say we're turning blight into might in the EPA Brownfields program. And I agree with him. We are investing in America in a really big way. Now, before I close, I would like to thank our Brownfields team at EPA Region 7, Jennifer Morris, Stan Walker, Keith Slider, and Jeff Robichaux, their division director. Thank you for working with these cities throughout our region to help them revitalize their communities. I truly appreciate your hard work and your passion and your heart that you give to these communities every day. Mayor Hart, Noel Anderson, and all the city personnel who've been working on this redevelopment initiative, as well as Mel Pins with IDNR, congratulations on your hard work to secure this grant. By using EPA Brownfields assessment funds to locate and clear a suitable location to expand Crystal Cold Storage, the site of today's event, the city was able to ensure jobs and opportunities remain in this community. This is an example of how we can all work together to ensure anti-displacement policies are followed in brownfields cleanup activities. So I know that this funding will make a positive impact, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for this community. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you, Meg. Now we invite Mel Pins, Executive Officer and Program Coordinator for the Iowa Department of Natural Resources.
Good morning. On behalf of the Iowa Department of Natural Resources, I'm pleased to be here today to extend our department's cooperation, support, and congratulations to the City of Waterloo as they continue to demonstrate their statewide leadership in site redevelopment and community enhancement. I'm Mel Pins, the Program Manager of the Iowa DNR's Brownfield Redevelopment Program. Our program works cooperatively with Iowa communities to help them understand and address environmental challenges and concerns that might be present at sites from past uses, activities, and releases of regulated waste or other hazardous materials. Concerns about these potential situations can hinder property redevelopment and reuse, creating sites that sit idled or underutilized. We call these types of sites brownfields. Brownfield sites are locations where their environmental reputation is that they're dirty, dingy, or tarnished, a little bit like the color brown. And it can be easier to look at investing and developing at other sites thus leaving these sites to sit in further decline. Brownfield sites don't necessarily fit one type of description. They could be a small site like a former gas station with concerns about fuel leaks that could contaminate groundwater, maybe an old dry cleaner where there are questions about potential impacts from solvent releases, or maybe it's even an old downtown building where remodeling has been slowed because of the presence of hazardous building materials like asbestos or lead-based paint. Sometimes a brownfield site can be a large former industrial facility where things like the presence of that asbestos in a building, as in the case of our project site here at the former Rath packing plant. While there's a proud and important history of employment and economic activity at this site, sometimes the remaining legacy at sites like this are the unanswered environmental questions and the additional costs that it takes to address those concerns that would dissuade most purchasers, developers, and investors. So while brownfield sites like this can be seen as an obstacle, they are an opportunity. As many brownfield sites do not pose significant issues, and with proper environmental assessment, risk evaluation, and cleanup, these sites can return again to productive uses in their communities. It's important to use our land resources wisely and to strive to return brownfield sites back to uses of value and quality to help ensure balanced, positive growth in our Iowa cities. This is the approach that Waterloo has taken for more than 20 years, where their leadership from their elected officials, their professional city staff, and the engagement and support of citizens and business partners has resulted in dozens of successful projects where a brownfield obstacle was turned into an asset for the city in character, quality, and community sustainability. Waterloo is an example for other cities in Iowa and across the country of how local determination and investment, combined with partnerships with EPA, the Iowa DNR, and community stakeholders, can result in the demonstrated redevelopment success that they have had and the positive direction that they continue to move in with this project here today. For almost 20 years, I've been fortunate to represent the Iowa DNR, assisting in a very small role for the great things that Waterloo has done in their brownfield redevelopment efforts. And I look forward to continuing our department's support to you as a partner in environmental improvement and protection and the enhancement of quality of life for the people of Iowa. So congratulations. We look forward to keep working with all of you.
Thank you, Mel. Now for the most fun part. We would like to invite Meg McAllister, Mayor Hart, and Noel Anderson, Director of Community Planning and Development for Waterloo, Iowa, to the front for the ceremonial check presentation.
Let's see. Sneak around.
Please accept this check for $642,000.
Noel, we'll invite you back up to the front for remarks.
Thanks, everyone. I think that check was too big for the mayor to hold by himself. That's why I was up there. Just want to kind of summarize, you heard from Meg, you've heard from the mayor and Mel all about brownfields and what they are. Just here in Waterloo, we were formerly the factory city of Iowa, so we have a lot of brownfield sites. A lot of them are obvious sites where you get to the Rath area where there was some heavy industrial. But the brownfield grants have played a key part in a lot of other sites. The former CMC site is where we have our public works building now. The single-speed building, you'd think that that's downtown. It's just a bar, microbrewery now. There were some underground tanks we found when we were redeveloping it. So again, the EPA, the DNR have been such great partners with us in all these sites and doing kind of things that sometimes you don't even know about when we're redeveloping these sites. And also, the EPA assessment grants helping us to really open up sites that are perceived as contaminated. We find out that they're not, so we can get people to invest back into them. So just to get that safety factor in their head. So it's really been a great partnership. Expanding that, the city council and the mayor, I've been blessed as a director to work with them and really support us in these efforts to get these sites redeveloped. Just one example of going after other funding. The big checks are great. We also got some DOT RISE grant funding for the 11th Street Bridge because of Tom's project here. So it's about us, using local funds, finding other funds to make projects work. So really just, working all these things culminates in, the projects like Tom's today, which has just been great. For those of you that know me, I'm not the fastest person to get back to everybody all the time. And so when this all kind of started to come with the presentation of the check, Tom wanted to show his new building and open that up. The timing worked very well, and Tara and some others really put together the final parts to make that work. So we're just glad to have Tom as a partner in this area, EPA, DNR, and the state for all their help. Thank you.
Thank you, Noel. Now I would like to invite Tom Poe, President of Crystal Cold Storage, to the front for our closing remarks.
Thank you, Shannon. It's great to see everybody here this morning, and we really appreciate it. All of us at Crystal Cold are just really super excited about moving into this new facility. We've been on this RAF site since 1985, which is over 38 years now. So, and this is the first time we were all under one roof with a modern, efficient, state-of-the-art operation where we can provide all of our services to the global food industry. Really excited about it. Our company has a long history in Waterloo, dating back to the 1880s. I don't know if you knew that or not, but we used to cut ice off the Cedar River, and that was at the time, the only way to preserve perishable food products. So today we store food in this new space, which is a little bit different, but we range our temperatures from 35 degrees all the way down to negative 25 or negative 30. So it's a little chilly in some of the rooms. We handle a variety of refrigerated food items for shipments just around the Midwest, locally, nationally, and then also international exporting. So Waterloo is just a great geographical location for food distribution. We're right in the center of the country. And with the assistance and support of the EPA, Iowa DNR, the City of Waterloo, and Grow Cedar Valley, we're really looking forward to future growth opportunities and job creation on this site. Finally, I'd like to take a second just to really thank our Crystal team in general, because without their hard work we wouldn't be at this point, and they work hard 7 days a week. Just very happy about the team we have right now, and we wouldn't be here without all you guys, so appreciate that. Thanks again for being here. Feel free to hang around after the ribbon cutting to visit or do whatever you like. So thanks again for your showing up and your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. This concludes today's ceremonial check presentation. We thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. For more information on EPA's brownfield funding opportunities, please visit our website at epa.gov. Thank you, and please enjoy the rest of your day.